All right, so handling Jonkoso is one of the problems most designers do have, especially when you are cutting. When you have a big fabric of Jonkoso, you are cutting either one, two, three, or four. So in this tutorial, I want to show you how I place and align my Jonkoso fabric to stay well on my table without having to dance around or give me stress. So first and foremost, you must make sure you bring a stool. You bring a long stool. Now you are going to keep the excesses of the fabric on the stool. So this will help to reduce the sliding effects that it falls down from the table, right? So you must bring a stool to keep the excesses this way, and then you bring a heavy object like a power bank, iron, anything, and place at the edge where it's going to slide from. So this will help to make this to retain its form and shape, right? While you now struggle with the regular ironing effect and drafting without shaking much of the fabric on the Jonkoso. So just watch how I will place this last fabric on top of this. So I will bring the material, and then you and I know that you fold the length into two. That's by 60 side. So this is, you first of all check the front and back. So the shiny part is always the front, or you check from where the grease line was used. Then fold the fabric like this into two, and then you hold the both edges and gently hold to the length you want, and then you place the excesses on top of the stool first, just like this, while you now carefully drag it to lap. So because Jonkoso fabric used to give stress always when you want to cut, especially if you are not a patient tailor. If you're a patient tailor, you'll not find this hard. So you now carefully drag all the edges here to align. So now it is also advisable that you iron. Now, if you're ironing Jonkoso, I would recommend you use steam iron to iron. Steam iron has a way of making it to relax because of the steam effect. So it adds kind of more stability on the material, and it also doesn't give room for shrinking, because most of these Jonkosos are kind of it has elastic effects or nature, and if it shrinks, it will reduce or alter the real measurement. So once you have arranged this way, you can now use your steam iron and iron out and remove all the rumples on the fabric, right? And then when you are drafting, you must make sure that you don't put more pressure by marking. So you have to draft gently. I think I also show you as well how to draft. Let me iron and come back to show you the continuation. So here I have ironed out as to this extent. Then the main thing I want to show you guys here is that you must make sure you bring a long stool and pack the excesses this way. If you drop them on the floor, it will drag the whole fabric down. So bring a long stool just this way and pack it this way, and they can now go ahead, drop something heavy, power bank or even wood, anything heavy that can help you hold. You see the points, I kept all these things in a very strategic manner. So now I want to also show you how to also mark the baseline, because this baselines is also part of the baselines is also part of the thing that gives issues when you are starting. So now when you place your ruler on your Jonkoso fabric, you make sure everything is aligned. Then you are meant to put pressure here, like you are clipping it down. Then you lightly place your chalk lightly and mark. So the pressure is more on the ruler, not on the chalk, so that it doesn't shift either. You see, right? Fine. So while also marking the side as well, the same process, you make sure as well that the edges here are evenly held. Just this way. Make sure they're evenly held, just like this. So you also place the chalk, the ruler at the side, this way. And then you also put pressure on the ruler and then you lightly mark the chalk this way, because most people cannot draw lines on Jonkoso fabrics because of how slippery the fabric tends to be. So this video is just to show you how I work on my Jonkoso fabric, because fabric handling is also a great advantage to great designers, so that you won't have issues working with any nature of fabric you might come across with. So as well, when you're marking your baselines, that's if you're making trouser, you also mark your 2 inches just this way, carefully, and then you hold it again the same way, and you also draw the lines. So this is how you do it. So I believe this video must have gone a long way to show you how to go about it. Then you continue with the same process, mark your trousers and everything. Thanks for watching.